Hello all. I didn't hold out much hope for this series of What If, given there's been a downward trajectory, and once again they don't disappoint. It's average at best and bad at worst. A quick review: some of the visuals are beautiful, but the animation seems a little less fluid at times. The voice work is mainly solid, and there is a focus on Phase 4 and 5 MCU failures. And this series opens with the demographic that doesn't really watch superhero cartoons watching said cartoon, and true to MCU, there is a notable excess of female characters. The first episode, what if the MCU ripped off Pacific Rim? No, sorry. What if the Hulk fought the Mech Avengers? This episode is so flat when it really shouldn't be, given you have giant robot Avengers fighting giant monsters, but it's so plodding. There's a massive exposition dump at the start explaining the years it took to get to this point, which kind of belies the idea of what a what if is. The plot makes little sense, despite some nice designs and a kernel of an idea which might have been cool. We also don't get the Avengers, we get the C and Z team. Episode 2, what if Agatha went to Hollywood? This gives all comic book and MCU fans what they've always wanted. One of history's biggest serial killers with a race-swapped robot who is facilitating the genocide of the entire planet in a Hollywood dance routine. Sorry? You didn't want that? Well, tough, that's what they've given you. I'm actually a fan of musicals and watched Busby Berkeley extravaganzas when I was younger, and no one made me. So elements of the dance routines were actually well realised, but I'm an outlier on that. And even I was thinking, what the fuck am I watching? Some cool visuals, but it was all over the top, campy, irritating nonsense. And much like Agatha all along, who is it for? Episode 3, what if the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier? An actual what if idea. What if the Red Guardian stopped Bucky killing Howard Stark and his wife? And we could then explore how that would impact the entirety of the MCU. Who does Tony become? What happens to S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is Cap ever found, and does Thanos succeed? No, of course we don't get that. We get a terminally unfunny buddy-buddy road movie with the incredibly irritating Red Guardian and Bucky. It's a truly woeful episode. It's just a shame they used this crap to showcase Lawrence Fishburne's Black Goliath. Episode 4, What If Squared? What if Howard the Duck got hitched? It's a what if based on another what if. It's monumentally dumb and mostly annoying and unfunny. But it has some nice moments, specifically at the end, as long as you don't think too hard about what just happened. Episode 5, what if the Emergence destroyed the Earth? Or rather, what if women were the bestest ever? Okay, I'm being provocative to make a point, but this is a female-heavy episode, 'cause MCU, of course. And it stars Riri Williams, the smartest person on the planet. Naturally we know that because they keep telling us. She's also the bravest, and we know that because they keep telling us. But she's also the most unpopular comic book character to come out in years. The story's fine, but nothing special. Episode 6, What If 1872? At least this time they actually admit it's not a what if story. Overall it's inoffensive, though there were massive exposition dumps and a pretty incoherent narrative. To clarify, I knew what was happening, but not why. Maybe it should have been called What The, instead of What If. There was a Trumpian insert, of course, and for a company dedicated to diversity, even when it's not appropriate, there was none of that when it came to the bad guys. I guess you know why. There is a twist, but it's pretty obvious, and slight spoiler, Shang-Chi tells his sister she's better than him in every way. Because of course she is. Episode 7, What If the Watcher Disappeared? The full MCU episode. It seems the Guardians of the Multiverse have dumped all those pesky men and now it's just women. Because once again, of course it is. And now it is Peggy Carter and 3 randos. We were introduced to Kahori last season. Not a very interesting character. Birdie from the Howard the Duck episode, who has an ill-fitting accent. And the only one comic fans will care about, Storm as the God of Thunder. And that's just because she appeared as that character decades ago in the comics. But mostly this episode is pretty empty and only really here to set up the finale. Episode 8, What If, What If? Lots of bombastic action with leaden repetitive dialogue. Despite the Watcher we know reflecting the skin colour of the voice actor, as with episode 6, all the bad Watchers are the same skin colour. Again, you can guess which one. And that really makes no sense. Am I bothered? Probably not. It's just really noticeable. Surprisingly, there is a bit of an emotional hit towards the end, but it's mainly just an empty light show. Fun action, I guess, but a bit of a damp squib when it comes to being the last episode of the last series. I was expecting something bigger. Overall, it was another step down from the previous season. I can't say I particularly enjoyed any of them. Some were inoffensive and pretty, but that's the best I can say. I guess I understand why they're focusing on Phase 4 and 5 characters to try and build them, but sadly most people don't seem to care about them, and it kind of went out with a whimper rather than a bang. Peggy Carter was once again the best thing in it. They really seem to have nailed that character, and she's the one I'd like to see make a proper transition to live action, given the Peggy we already had was pretty awesome. What did you think of the series? Did you enjoy it, or did you think it was a lacklustre affair like I did? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace out.